My community, what's good? We here. Y'all made it. Thank you. Let me check myself out today. We got a special guest today. Tinkerboo 427, what's good? Balasha Boutique, one of my day ones. Yo, if you one of my day ones, say what's up in the comments. Social Genre, what up, Tiano? Sydney, Renee, what's good? Good news. 11. I know I'm missing some of y'all. Africa, what's good? KB Gucci self-care. My community. Official X Rain, what's good? Yo, I just want to thank all of my people who are fucking with me right now. Hold on, let me see if I can move this a little bit, because we can still see that in the background. We don't want that. What up, Fresh DX87, Sydney Renee, oh hey, Carlos Taylor 6306, what's good? We here. I know you've seen the Ninja Turtle pop. Yo, can we go easy on my men, on the men out there? Vera Ferret. I did see the latest episode of Pop the Balloon. I'm not going to call him a Ninja Turtle. That dude is just buff. He was actually bigger than the Ninja Turtles. That nigga was bigger than the Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles don't want no parts of my man. My community. Oh, what's good? Yo, we got a special guest today. Not Mabina, what's good? Who is 6'7"? Yo, you are about to find out. My homie from the East Coast, Chelo, Missy Yummy Yum. Sometimes I be saying these handles, and I can't believe that I say them. But yo, what's good? Self-care, BFG funny. No, they're never easy on the men. Big up, Star, DS Shep, DFW, D Shep, DFW, one of my day ones. What's good? I just want to know when I can come get my teeth whitening from you. You know what's funny? Actually, I don't do the teeth whitening myself. I have my assistants and my staff do it. But if you coming to see me and you're actually getting dental work done, then we're doing implants, we're doing extractions, we are doing work. I am not here to kick it. CJR Romantica, yes, sensational, my homie. I fucking love humans, man. We can make anything work. Where my people at? Where my day ones? I want to join the live after a bit. Yo, I got you. Missy Yummy Yum. Murabiyama? That's cool. I'm gonna say what's up. All right. I'm gonna answer that one question. Homeboy from the newest episode of Pop the Balloon. So much love for him. It looks like he knows what he wants. Looks like he's working hard. I think he said he was like 29. He's out there doing this thing. Yo, for me, my advice to him, keep your head down, man. Do not worry about these women. You have so much further to go. It looks like you already know what working on yourself means. So let's keep that going. And the women, they will come. Trust me, they ain't going nowhere. I promise you that. If it's one thing, is that women are here to stay. Oh, yeah, you guys make sure you get your t-shirts. And if you find someone who you can afford financially but not emotionally, gotta give them their walking papers. They not like us. All right, I'm gonna start fooling around. He has a short neck, poor thing. He left with one you wouldn't expect though. Ninja probably has no neck. He ain't got no neck because it's all muscle. It's there. It's just under all that muscle. Y'all be easy. So, how was everyone's week? How was everyone's vibes? You cool, Dr. Elom, but I'm here for 6'7". Where he at? I'm gonna take that as a compliment. They not like us. Yo, Norman, what's good? Yo, y'all go follow my homie Norman Wakefield. He's got a lot of good shit cooking. Big shit poppin'. Rose, what's good with you? I see you, girl. Smiley 20748. Kadeja. I think she chose him because he was the last contestant, because there's no way. You're welcome, you my fave. Yo, I appreciate all the vibes. Yo, everybody who's been fucking with me on my day ones, I'm really grateful for you. I'm here for it. I'm proud of all the growth that we've accomplished. We just gotta keep it going. Chop wood and carry water. Just chopping wood and carrying water every day. What does that mean? That means putting your head down and tapping in with the community, doing the work on the ground floor, still doing my day job and making sure that we're tapped in. But I'm here. I was actually got a little workout in this morning. Went to go hoop. Y'all still hoop? I went Kyrie on these motherfuckers today. Gang. You keep ignoring my question, gang. Okay. Official rain. Let me go back. What did she say? He said, on God, on me. That's what I'm gonna start doing. Yo, after this, I am going to open up a hotline so y'all can tap in and see what I'm really doing. Behind the scenes, because I know I come on here, we're vibing out, we kick it, we have good conversation, but I am here to show you guys my vulnerable side. I make music. I mean, woo. Wait, Rain. Hold up, Rain. I forgot. I don't know where your question is. I said, what are your thoughts on oil pulling? Okay. Oil pulling is fine. I'm cool with it. I don't think that it's going to make or break your dental routine. You still need a water pick, electric toothbrush, floss. Go see your dentist every 6 months. But oil pulling, if you want to do that, that's fine. I don't think it's bad for you. Yo, I'll be coming to LA soon, filming a TV show. Norman, yo, tap in. You got a place to stay. How tall am I? I am 6'6". I'm bringing on someone on the show who's taller than me today. I don't know if that's ever happened. I don't know if that ever happened. Why didn't you go on the reunion to pop the balloon? Well, if you were following the whole show, Yavi Michelle, what's good? You saw that I was being honest and open on the show, but they weren't having that. They didn't want to fuck with me. So I released some behind the scenes to let my community know what really happened, so y'all can stay abreast of what's going on in my life. Yo, Tiano, you're in LA? Mr. Yum Yum said, good God. Yeah, I still got the juice. We were dunking earlier today. That shit was fun, but I'm tired now. I'm here. I'm talking to you guys. So I didn't go on the reunion, Pop the Balloon, because I had a falling out with production, and they didn't want the truth. So I had to force it in their face, and they didn't like that. They did not like me spilling the beans. Sure Love, what's good? Sure Love 16, one of my day ones. Gotta give a shout out to my day ones. Yo, if you one of my day ones and I haven't shouted you out, yo, can you fix the TV down? Yo, they do not let y'all vlog backstage. I was trying to kick it on. I was trying to be real on the show. I was trying to be like, yo, this is what I want out of a relationship. This is what I want out of, for my life. I ain't got no kids. I'm chilling. I'll be out there in 2 weeks. Yo, tap in with me, Tiano. It wasn't nothing bad you revealed about the show. I know it wasn't anything bad, but it wasn't on their brand, so they cut it out. And I was like, nah, we ain't doing that shit. We here to live another day. You still single? Reliance Costa said, yes, I am still single. Oh, they hate you, bro. You post. Mr. Universe said they hate you. Hey, you know what hate is? And I'm gonna say this last thing before I bring on my guests. All the hate in the comments, they calling me gay, they call me a narcissist, they calling me, what else they call me? I don't know what else they be calling me, but for anybody out there who is struggling with hate, even if it's like hate from family, judgment from your peers, judgment from any institutions you are a part of, just remember that hate is just a projection of someone's shadow side projected onto you. And we all do this. I've done this. You've done this. What does this mean? This means any insecurities that we're feeling, any shadows that we're feeling, we'll project it onto a person or onto an experience, and then we'll try and destroy it instead of doing the inner work ourselves, doing the therapy, writing in the journal, having the tough conversations, regulating our actions to our emotions. We will project it onto someone else and then try and destroy it, and then that'll make us feel better. Have you ever done that? I know I've done that. Dr. Elom, I hope you have a nice day. My son's doctor was part of Doctors Without Borders. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I've done a lot of work overseas, traveling around the world pulling teeth. I absolutely love what I do. I'm so grateful. Ruby Natasha Rue, one of my day ones. You know what's confusing? They say they want a leader, but when you are actually confident, they say something like you sassy or arrogant. Yeah, they call me sassy or arrogant, but they can tell. I'm not gonna read that. Yo, yes. You know what? I almost think of it like initiation. Like, yo, now you say you really confident. Let's see how confident you really are in yourself. I'm gonna call you this. I'm gonna call you that. I'm gonna make sure that you see my comments and my DMs. Yo, I got some people in my DMs going hard. Love and hate. I'm here for it. I'm here for it both. But I see it all as a sparring workout session where I question. No, I read the comments. I read the comments and I sit and I think. I'm like, am I a narcissist? I asked my therapist the other day, am I a narcissist? Nah, I ain't a narcissist. Like, I see some narcissists, yo. And Ruby Natasha Rue said, I want him to work on my mind. Can you be more specific, Natasha? Being gross. You being gross. Come pull my teeth, handsome. Most of them are masculine women who are only good for, oh my gosh, Muhammad 97, who hurt you? All right, so I am going to bring on my guest. Where you at? Where you at, my guy? To build community, we are here to practice authenticity. We are here to ask the tough questions. We are here to, yeah, I'm here, y'all. I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. Y'all may not get sick of me, but you might. I'm gonna be up in your face. After this, y'all remind me if I don't do it. I'm 39. I have been, yo,
Yo, hold on, let me fix this real quick.
it's live.
What's good, baby?
My guy, yo, tell us your name, where you from, what's good, man.
Appreciate it.
What
You
can
good,
what can
brother?
my community call you when they see you out in the streets?
Man, some people call me, I'm 6'7", the sensational one, or Eric, man. It's just that simple.
Yeah, we're gonna go with Eric, man.
That works.
Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for being a part.
What's
Yo,
good?
what's good, man? We here.
You
We
tell me,
here.
you like the internet's billing, baby. Yo,
Yo.
I don't know whether I want to call you Thanos or who's the other one? Who's the new one that Jonathan Majors played? Kang the Conqueror. Between you and dude that Kayla called the Ninja Turtle, I don't know who's the bigger bad guy.
Hey man, it's hard out here for all of us right now. You know, I was sitting in my living room the other night, just had the TV on after the game, and I was sitting there, it was quiet. And when I was just sitting by myself and I was like, man, this is what the Joker must have felt like when he was kicking it by himself. Just contemplating life, listening to all the ignorant shit that comes his way. I'm here for it though, man. I'm here for it. It started on Pop the Balloon. Thank you again for reposting my shit. I appreciate everyone who,
Yeah.
you know, who catches the vibe and feels something, because that's all I was doing. It was me and my cousin. We were kicking it at our place. We have a place together in
Mm.
Phoenix, and it was after one of these basketball games, and I was like, I got a DM from one of the producers of the show, and they were like, "Yo, we're doing a dating show. Would you come and be on it?" And at this time, there had only been one episode, so I hadn't seen it. I actually didn't know what was going
Right,
on.
because you came
We
on
show up there.
two.
I came on two. So the first one I came on, I get there. There's balloons everywhere. I'm like, is this somebody's birthday going on? And they say, no, this is Puff the Balloon. A woman's gonna walk out, and you're going to judge her And based on y'all's interaction, you're gonna decide if you want to pursue her or not by popping your balloon. I'm like, all right, cool. So I get on that. I had no idea that it was gonna blow up like this. I'm just being honest. I'm talking about being a liability, talking about doing therapy.
I see the shirt, baby.
I'm,
I ain't even mad at
it,
that.
yeah. This is really just a reminder to myself, just in case I forget, right? Because it's hard out here. Sometimes I be forgetting my boundaries don't always stand strong. So I got to remind myself. But it was just a good opportunity for me to be authentic, to share how I interact in the real world with real humans. Now, it definitely was triggering for a lot of people because I think as men, we are taught to put women on a pedestal, to revere them, to show them the utmost reverence and gratitude and service. And all of that is good. But that comes at a cost to the women to be nurturing, loving, loyal, honest, gracious, right? So there's a give and a take. Talk to me about your dating life. What does the streets know about Eric? What?
There ain't no more streets for me, baby. Yeah, I am wifed up, hubbied up, whatever. But in my past life,
Mm-hmm.
um, I gotta say, dating was hard for me because, like,
Yep.
right now, currently, my weight is about 255. But
Okay.
before this version of me, I
Mm-hmm.
was 6'7", 147 pounds.
No
So
way.
dating for me,
No
like
way.
when I see people, fat shaming women
Mm-hmm.
for being bigger,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people don't realize that it goes the same way because I was shamed because I was smaller. So it kind of forced me to put on weight. And
Mm-hmm.
when I was that size, I barely got looks, man. And I'm just being honest that there was
Yeah.
no, I had no, I had no pick. Like I
Mm.
literally, whoever liked me, I know it may sound bad. Whoever liked me, I just went with them because no one paid attention to me, and that's just me being realistic. Did did I mess with people? Absolutely, but anyone that I personally went for, it was always a no. It wasn't a regular no. It was like a fuck no. It was like a hell no. It was like you got to eat some more. Like it was like that. So it was hard for me.
Yeah, yo, you're talking to a large percentage of men in the population. If any of them in here listening, how did you come to a place where you're like, yo, I'm about to change my life? What was there a specific event? Was it gradual?
No,
How did you
it
get
was
to the place where it's like,
it was one specific thing. I was leaving my boy's studio. At the time, I used to do music. So I was leaving the studio at the night. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning.
mm-hmm,
And I'm just walking. Again, it's late. I don't even know why these young ladies were out, but I walked past two women
mm-hmm,
and they started to laugh at me. I knew
mm-hmm,
they were laughing at me because one of them yelled out the top of her lungs, "Why the fuck is he so skinny?" That embarrassed
no
me so much. Like I
way,
bolted home. Like
no
after
way.
that, I ended up working at the YMCA where I had access to a gym.
Mm-hmm,
I started working
mm-hmm,
out every day. I started taking weight gainers,
mm-hmm,
and I was able to pack on size, and that was the moment for me. And then I realized, just like when you see a woman who's bigger and men might shame her, then when she comes down in weight, they'd be like, "Oh,
mm-hmm.
she's fly, I want to date." I noticed the same thing. Like when I put on muscle, or what I want to call muscle, whatever size, weight, um I was recognized a lot, like a lot, like more than usual, because not only was I tall, but now I had a pretty decent build. So
Right.
that's what it
So
was.
you,
That
so you're walking through life, you are figuring it out. Okay, because a lot of men, I struggle with this too, to a certain extent. We all have insecurities, right? We all have things that we're dealing with. We all have things that we don't like about ourselves. Was there a tipping point where you were like, this is just too much? I'm not getting what I want from the world around me. Was it hard for you to stay loving and to stay pure and kind and not be bitter and like push away women or like become a fuckboy? Did you have a fuckboy face?
um I would say it made me a little bit of a villain at that time, because every woman I would date, like I would judge them like unfairly just because of my past. Like, I know she's probably only talking to me now because I'm a little heavier. If this was 147-pound me, would she still do this? And to me, that was wrong. But this is, again, this was in me now because this is what I went through in life. So this is how I viewed women at the time. I'm like, no one likes skinny, bony Eric. They only like me now. Would you like me? So yeah, I felt some type of way going into every relationship. Then I realized, all women ain't the same.
Yeah.
And I can't hold this woman to the same as I held the last woman for dogging me out like that.
So do you think it was more of a change in how you were approaching women, or do you think women actually were seeing the new version of you because you were changing, you were a new person? How did you start to interact with people in an authentic way?
Well, when I was smaller, I want to say, even after that, when I gained weight, I never knew how to talk to women. I was always
Mm-hmm.
shy. Even now, like, people may think seeing me online and putting out these videos that I'm not, but I still am. I never was that great with approaching women because I never knew, like, my game was bad. Not to even
Yeah.
say it was game, but
Right.
even after that, um, I don't think the way that I approach women changed. I just think that the way I look changed. So it made me more appealing to the women that I did approach.
Mm-hmm. So it made you more appealing to the people that you did approach. So
I think so.
how did you
But
meet
I
your
mean, that's the only way I could look at it, because before that, it wasn't happening. Like, it really wasn't.
What do you say to the guys out there who are in the dating market? They're trying to find someone special. They're trying to find someone who they care about. But I mean, let's be honest. The dating pool right now is it's like a Hunger Games out
No,
there,
it's
right?
hard. It's hard. It's hard for both men and women. Like, it.
Hmm.
Men get a lot of shit, but women get a lot of shit too. Me, I'm fair. If I'm making a video and a guy, I'm calling out a guy on his shit, I'm calling
Hmm.
out a woman on her shit. Like,
Hmm.
it goes both ways. Definitely, the dating
Right.
pool is fucked for everybody.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I can honestly say, my wife that I have today, I met her when I was bony me. She
Mm-hmm.
stuck with me until muscular me. So
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't everybody. Everybody's definitely not the same, but I think it is. Um, with more generations that come, I think dating is getting harder because the expectations are different now. I feel like it was more simpler back then, but now it's like too much is expected on both parties, and somebody's not going to meet that expectation, so it never works.
You hit it right on the head. And that's something that I'm still working on changing, trying to change, trying to bring into every new interaction is what can I bring to the table? How can I add value to your life? Because, in my opinion, relationships are a platform for value to be exchanged. You're adding value to your wife's life, she's adding value to yours. If
That's
we could just focus, if we can focus on what we're bringing to the table, then maybe what we receive will be greater than what we are chasing in our mind and in a lot of our fantasies. So talk to the people, man. I don't I'm gonna be real with you, man. I don't know if I'm gonna get married, bro. It's
listen.
these streets, bro. These streets is calling, nigga.
Marriage is marriage
Give
is
it to
not an easy
me
thing.
real. I want to know the real behind the veil. What is it when it comes to marriage? Why are people happy in marriages, and why are so many marriages failing?
Communication. I know it may
Mm,
sound like, oh, everybody says the same thing, but it is, because I've been in it for a while, and I'd be lying if I say everything was like fairy tale. I don't want fairy tale. I don't want
right.
fairy tale. Things are gonna have ups and downs. That's just life. That's even if you're not married. If you're not married, it's still gonna go. It's still gonna be a roller coaster. So it's just up to you whether you wanna. To me, I know this may trigger some people, but marriage is just a certificate. Like,
Mm,
with or without
mm,
that, I
mm,
feel like you can still have a bond the same as a marriage. To me, like,
mm.
If
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't married, my relationship wouldn't be any different. To me, again,
That's huge. That's huge.
to me, it's just that piece of paper don't determine how much I love my wife or how
Mm-hmm.
much I love, you know, anything that pertains to her. Not a piece of paper. But again,
Okay.
when you're married, that is a piece of paper by law that
Mm-hmm.
says you're married. That doesn't change how
Mm-hmm.
much he loves me
Mm-hmm.
at all.
Mm-hmm. So why get married then? If the paper doesn't change the relationship, what's the point of getting married?
Uh, hmm. I could no. I could easily say what everyone says for love, but the love
Right.
was already there. That's
Right. There's something more. It's almost like when I think about getting married, when I think about the idea of sacrificing, because it is a sacrifice, even though you're gaining a lot, there is a sacrifice. It's almost like there's something higher and more important than the relationship itself that you guys are working
right.
towards. So I would even say like the marriage certificate almost is like holding you accountable, like nigga, you said, nigga, you said.
The, it is in a sense. Excuse
Mhm,
me. It's kind of like a contract. Like
mhm,
what's yours is mine. Before that, what's yours is mine. Before that contract, if you leave, you leave.
mhm,
Now with
mhm.
that contract, if you leave, okay, go ahead. But it's gonna be
It's
some
different. It's
consequences.
different.
I,
It's
I
it's
think
different, and I think.
it's
Oh, go ahead.
like it's pretty much it's pretty much something that says if you leave, there will be consequences to me. Um,
Right.
Without that, you could leave with no consequence, or there still may be consequences depending on the situation. But I never been asked that question. I don't think I've ever thought about it that way, in a sense of we have the same thing we would have
Mhm.
without the certificate. So why get married? So I don't know. I guess I feel like it's just the thing to do. I don't know why, because I guess it's just been going on
I
for
think,
years and years and years that it seems like it's the right thing to do.
and in a lot of ways, it is the right thing to do because we have this natural inclination to go along the easiest path. And when things get hard and when shit hits the fan and you have to look your spouse in the eye and say, yo, are you really fucking with me? That is what's going to hold you accountable. And that is what helps you rise to the occasion.
Hmm.
So, and I encourage you when shit gets hard and you may be thinking about leaving the marriage and vice versa. These are the types of questions that you have to ask yourself to be like, yo, I'm in it for this. I'm in it for this. I'm in it for something higher than myself. And that is why it's noble. I think it's noble to get married. I don't know if it's for everyone, but I do know my friends who are married, my parents, they're still married. From what I've seen, the healthy relationships at work is when they make the relationship, they make something higher than the relationship. You have kids, right?
Yeah, that makes sense though.
Right. So at the end of the day, at least you're here to help. You got to help the kids. You got to help the kids.
But
I I
it got to be more than kids that keep the marriage together. Some people do hold on to a marriage
mhm.
for the kids. So it got to
Does
be
that
more
really
than that.
work? Is that healthy for the kids? I don't know the statistics on that. Is it better
It's
for
it's
it,
not.
right to see the fighting or the abuse or whatever? It's better to get divorced than be in a separate relationship, right?
I think so because I know friends who are married
Hmm.
still. Of course, I won't mention who they are,
Sure.
but you know, they told me that they staying for the kids, and I can imagine that's not healthy.
Hmm.
That's not a healthy reason to stay. Because given you may argue, and no one's perfect. You may argue in front of your kids, but to keep the marriage together just because of the child, and you don't want the child to grow up in a one parent household, it's just going to be worse. Given you're always going to have your disputes. My marriage ain't been perfect, and I don't even say that to put my business out there. But when you committed at something, you work on making it right. You don't. I'm not gonna just end it because you know I didn't put the toilet seat down and she's wilding out on me. I'm gonna be like, all right, maybe I was wrong. Because a lot of the
And
times I do be wrong, and I don't see it till later, and I can admit
right,
that.
that is, people don't take anything away from this podcast. I think that is the most important piece, is being able to take responsibility where you may have messed up, or where you may have not been able to see clearly. And I know the hardest thing for me, like during my healing journey and as I was going through therapy, was admitting that I made a mistake, or admitting that I need to change, or admitting that I was wrong. And I know for a lot of men, especially with our egos, that's like death. It's like, no,
No, it is.
I tried my best. I was doing everything I needed to do, and it didn't work out, so it couldn't be my fault. Well, nigga, yeah, it was your fault, bro.
Sometimes it is. Sometimes we do not want to admit that. Listen, I've been married long enough to know everything that happened. I have not took accountability for, which I should have. But
Yeah.
sometimes men, our prides get the best of us, and we don't take accountability. And there's a lot of times that I should have took accountability, but a man being a man, sometimes we don't, and that's the honest truth, because we're men. I don't know
Yes.
if that's just built into us, but that's just how it works sometimes.
You
Let, let,
know,
let me
and
ask you something real quick, not to cut you off,
uh-huh.
right? So you
Yeah.
said you don't think you ever gonna get married. Why don't you? I mean, you still a young guy. You still, you're tall. You're a good looking brother. Why don't you think that you're gonna get married? Why don't you
You
see it?
know, okay, all we know is what we know, right? And my parents, man, they grew up. My dad's from Africa. He came from Ghana and met my mom here in Texas, and they got married, and they had me way too soon, like way too soon. I mean, I'm talking. I'm like, I feel like a third parent. I'm the oldest of four, so I grew up cooking, cleaning, babysitting, changing diapers. Doing all the household stuff. And so I saw the sacrifice while my parents were at work every day, just trying to make ends meet, how challenging it was and how much of a sacrifice it was. And I'm not ready. I don't know if I want to do the kid thing. And for me, if you have children, I think it is, if you can make it work, if you can make it work, you should make it work and raise your children in a two-parent household and give them all the attention and the energy and the care that you can as a human. And maybe a little bit of me is just selfish. A little bit of me is also already tired just thinking about it. Like, damn, I don't know. I don't know how you doing it, especially with the internet.
All right. So let me ask you this, right?
How many?
So
Yeah,
of course I watched your episode, right? And I even watched
sure.
when the return, when you came in full villain attire, right? Episode
Yo,
9, I believe.
that was not fair. Yo, they set me up. That was another thing I was pissed off about. They set me up. They wanted those women to get their redemption, and they did. Everybody got to pop their balloon on Dr. Elom, and I know it felt good. I know it felt good for all the people out there who have
Oh, they did. As
not
soon as
such a good opinion
you
of
came out,
me.
as soon as you came out, they already knew. This nigga here
This
again.
this nigga here, bring him out. Bring him
But
out.
listen, let me ask you this,
Sure.
because me as a man looking
Mm-hmm.
on from the outside in, it did
Mm-hmm.
come off. You did come off kind of wild to some of them. Like the first once I saw you ask the first girl, who did your teeth. I knew that was the origin story right there. Your origin story was starting. I'm like, oh wow, and I couldn't see how they can say that you were coming off a little
Oh,
arrogant. So
I
you
was.
when you
I
watch it
came off a little.
back, do you feel like you did come off as arrogant?
Yes, of course I was arrogant, but also I stand on everything that I said. Now, could my tone have been a little bit kinder and compassionate? Sure.
You
But
know you wasn't shit for that.
there
You
was a time there's
wasn't
a
shit
time
for
and a
that.
place for that. There's a time and a place for that. And that was not the time and the place. Because I walked into a room where everyone already had a preconceived indoctrination as to who I
Hmm.
was. They already thought they knew who I was just because of a couple of clips. And that's fine. That's fine. I'll hold space for that. But what I won't hold space for is character bashing and assumptions made off of not enough evidence. So in that arena, yeah, I had to let people know. I had to let people know what time it was because at the end of the day, I do love women. We need women. We need to come together in harmony with our equal and special powers and be together and create peace in each other's lives.
I
But
mean,
it's hard.
I could understand it because you know, going on these shows, you don't know anything about any of these women, so
Right.
I get it. You have to know. You have to ask these questions to know. But you came off a little bit strong, and I'm just going
For
being
sure.
real man to man. You came off a little strong,
Yeah.
and I already knew
I
where
was not being
you were
passive
going.
aggressive. I was being aggressive.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
being 6'6",
for
you
sure.
know, being tall, being big, we have to come off docile, otherwise people feel attacked. And so
I can understand that.
my entire life I've had to pander and cater to people's emotions so they don't feel intimidated. And I know you can feel me on this. What's your experience like? How do you approach, let's say, how do you approach people to make you feel authentic, so they can see past your stature, so they can see past your skin color? How do you present yourself in a way that's
I would
amicable?
say I would say in a very soft spoken. I feel like in my life,
Mm-hmm.
because of how I look and how tall I am,
Mm-hmm.
it comes off as I'm the big bad wolf, or like I'm and intimidating. People have said
Right.
I look intimidating or
Mm-hmm.
not approachable. So I have to kind of dial it
Mm-hmm.
down a little bit. Very
Mm-hmm.
soft spoken. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I got to do the most to make people feel comfortable when they talking to me because that's what I give off just
Right.
because of what I am. So
Now, can you imagine if I was 5'7", looking up at these women,
well
saying what I said?
well
It wouldn't have had the same effect.
we seen the short kings on the show
Right.
already. So
Right.
we see how that can go. It's definitely a difference when you tall.
Mm-hmm.
Some
Mm-hmm.
people, I've had people tell me my whole personality is my height, and that's like the most false thing someone could ever say because they
Right.
see uh, my username is I'm 6'7", and that name only came about because at the time I couldn't think of anything else other than how tall I was. That's it. It's
Yo,
not because
can you let people know how challenging it is to get on the internet, speak your truth, and try and portray who you are? Because now people know me as the villain, Dr.
right.
Elom. When I do yoga, meditation, music, basketball. I'm a dentist, like so many other things about me, but most people only know that piece and part of me. How do you how did you start and say, okay, I'm gonna name my handle, I am 6'7", and this is what I'm gonna stand on moving forward? Because you can't change it now, nigga. Everybody love
Now
you, bro.
I'm stuck with what I'm stuck with. Um, but it definitely is because initially it's exactly what you said. That's how I see you, Dr. Elam, the arrogant guy from the dating
Mhm.
show. But we had brief messages back and forth through DMs. I don't see you like that. This is the only way I saw you because
Right,
so I can only judge you from what I saw. That's no different from when people see my videos, they judging me by what they see. So I'm
right.
very mindful of what I put online. And even though I put my best online, I still get negativity. It don't matter.
Mhm.
And I would say 99% of the stuff I put out is either positive or funny, and yet I still get that. So
Mhm.
it's hard. Um, it's hard to make people see past any of that. I would say a lot of women have been like in the beginning, not so much now because I want to say they're respecting my marriage, but in the beginning
Sure.
there were a lot of I love you,
Sure.
marry me, but I'm not
Sure.
perfect. I would
Right.
never pretend to be perfect online.
Right.
I've made fun of people. There's been life where I've made inappropriate jokes about
Sure.
gay people.
Yeah.
I've
Right.
acted. I've pretended that I ain't like bigger women because my friends didn't think it was cool. Like I was just not me. I wasn't living the person who I wanted to be. So I would say I was like a fake version of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I didn't like that version of me. So
I want you to talk about this a little bit because this is what I try and stand on, and it's not easy, bro. It's not easy to wake up every day and be your most authentic self 24 hours of the day. What advice can you give me to remain authentic, to step forward in my peace and in my truth? Because I'm so much more than what people see on the internet, but for the majority of people, that's all they know. So, how can I move forward in an authentic way and still being able to maintain my peace? Like,
ooh, that is a tough one.
shit. You don't have an easy answer, dog? I was looking for a motherfucking easy answer.
Yo, listen, like we'll go back to what you said, the Joker, right?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody ever gonna see the Joker as a good guy. Ain't
Yeah.
nobody ever gonna say the Joker may team up with Batman. The Joker is always gonna be the Joker.
Right.
Thanos is always gonna be Thanos,
Yeah.
and whatever villain in any situation is gonna be that villain. It's hard. Once you put that label of the villain on you, it's hard to be the hero after that.
You know,
Can it happen?
and it is.
Um,
Hey, don't get it twisted. I ain't trying to
no,
save
no, no,
nobody.
no.
I ain't trying to be
I didn't say that. I
nobody's
didn't say that.
hero.
But um, I would
I
say,
ain't trying to be nobody's hero.
listen, I wouldn't even honestly. I've had, like I said, we've had a few exchanges. I wouldn't change anything. You are authentically you, and you brought that to the show, and I could respect that. Even though me personally, I could say from man to man that I wouldn't have done that. It was a little aggressive, but that's how you came, and I could respect you for that. I wouldn't change who you are to fit anybody's standards. If you have a certain type of woman that you're looking for, then just be you. Who gonna love you is gonna love you. It's the same with me. There's plenty of people who don't love me. There's plenty of people who say, "Oh, you just pander to women. Oh, you gay. Oh, I've been called sassy." Also, I don't worry about them. I live for me. I would say don't change. Yeah, like you got stuff you doing. Like you have yourself established. Um,
Mhm.
so you should be able to want what you want and don't settle. Just like any woman, I wouldn't expect any woman to settle for any man that they don't want either. It's no different. It goes both ways. So to answer that question, I don't think it's a matter of you um doing anything to make anyone see you any different. If people want to judge you just off of what they've seen, I would say that's unfair. That's not a fair assessment. Because a lot of the times, not saying in your case, a lot of people just do it for the internet. It gets
Mhm.
views. Not again, it could be authentically you, but a lot of people do stuff just for shock value, and it was
Yeah.
good shock value. It got views. It definitely went viral.
Mhm.
I would say it worked out in your favor. Whether it's negative or positive, it still worked out.
Yeah.
Um, you
I
and I
agree.
are here talking today. I don't even know if we would be having this conversation had I not watched the show, but I'm glad we
I
are.
agree.
You know,
I agree. And I will say, the first time I went on the show, it was for shits and giggles. I actually got, I don't know if I should, I don't know if I can actually legally say this. I got some stuff coming out
don't
that
if you
isn't
can't
YouTube.
if you can't don't say.
Can I talk about it anyway? I actually need to read the contract. But I have some stuff coming out this summer that I've been planning for. In January, when the Pop the Balloon came out, I just literally I was this close to not going. This close to
What
not going.
made you go back?
And say again.
What made you go back?
Now, when I went back, that was on purpose. Not necessarily for the clout, but I
Uh,
needed to make a statement. I needed to make a statement about what I wanted, who I was, and to kind of take control of the narrative. Now, I don't know if I did that, but I did feel more authentic going back, speaking my truth. The idea, okay, there were two things on this last episode that we talked about, that I talked about that got a little bit of flack. Where are all these balloons
I
coming
don't
from?
know. I saw
So,
them pop up on your.
the, I need to check my iOS my iOS. So the first thing was what am I looking for in a woman? And I named 3 things that I feel every man is looking for in a woman. And you let me know if your wife crosses off these 3
Oh, you
things. The
trying to get me in
first thing,
trouble.
you
You
said,
trying
well,
to
I'm
on the
about to
couch.
put you on the spot
All
right
right,
now.
let's go. Let's go with it.
We
Let's
ain't
go
talking
with it.
about this in the DMs, dog. We ain't talking about this. The first thing is she needs to be useful. And I use that phrase, I use that word loosely, but what I really mean is an asset. She needs to be an asset to you. And why is this important? This is important because when you walk into a relationship asking how you can be of service, you're automatically an asset. You automatically will be curious about your partner's lifestyle. That way you can incorporate yourself into the relationship to help each other grow. And you'll also be able to hold space for the things that that partner is weak at. Like I don't want to get too much into the details of your marriage, but I'm sure that there are parts of you that aren't as strong that she is able to come back behind you and help you be better at.
Um. Well,
How do you
let me
feel about
let me
that?
say this. Me personally, I would saying useful sounds crazy. That shit is diabolical.
Done.
It sounds wild. It sounds very wild. I would say that my wife, just to answer it how you put it out there, she's very useful.
Mm-hmm.
She
Let me ask you this.
complements everything I do as well as it goes the same way. We complement each other.
Right. Men are naturally useful. That's our job. If we're not useful in a relationship, then what are we doing, right?
No. I understand that. I'm just saying the word sounds crazy. It's like
Doesn't it though?
almost sounds like a tool. Like
Doesn't it though? But
I don't know. It sounds
the connotation may not be what it
right.
needs to be.
Right. No. I can understand that though. But she is 100%. Again, she compliments me. We
Hmm.
complement each other. I feel like
Hmm.
it should be that way.
It should
Um.
be that way. I mean, I think people confuse being useful with being used. You don't need to feel used to be useful, right? We
Yeah.
wake up in the morning, we go to work, we're useful to the society, we're useful to our community, we're useful to our family. If we're not useful, then we're useless, and no one wants to be useless.
Yeah. That's true.
So
They right
you
in
may
the comments. It's complete. we complete we complete each other.
okay.
I'm sorry.
That's the
Correct my.
you know, people want to romanticize it. Maybe I'm just not a romantic. Maybe
But yes,
the second thing. Go ahead.
she is though. It was that, and what else was the other two?
So the second thing is she needs to be able to blow your mind in the bedroom. She needs to be able to take the nastiest thing she's ever done, nastiest thing you've ever done, and like live up here because, you know, you got. I say if she ain't
Uh,
getting it from you ain't getting it from each other. You have it. We are all subject to temptation. No one's immune to that. We're all subject to temptation. And if you're not getting what you need in your relationship sexually, the temptation is harder to fight when it comes.
uh, well, I'll say this. check. We got check on one and we got check on two. I,
Well, you really gonna feel me on this last one then, because the last one, if you don't do this last thing, then it doesn't matter if you do the first two, and that is respect. You have to show respect and reverence and gratitude in your relationship, and this really goes both ways,
right.
the men and the women. Respect is something that I think is taken for granted these days. I think respect is something that isn't really practiced in a healthy way, but we know it when we feel we're being disrespected.
Absolutely. I would say that. I would even go as far as adding one more and saying accountability because
Ooh,
that that
ooh, ooh! I wasn't ready for that one, bro. That's a hard one. That's
that
a hard one. That's expert level. That's expert level.
accountability. I would say all those. plus accountability, because accountability is something it's hard for us. It's hard for a lot of people. It's hard for a lot of people. No one wants to be at fault.
Right.
And not holding accountability for something, I would say, can ruin a relationship. Something so simple. People leave relationships for less than nothing. For less than nothing.
Yeah.
So if you know you're wrong, or she knows she's wrong, and somebody don't want to put on they big boy or they big girl drawers and say, hey, listen, I was wrong. You could damage your relationship. That you could lead your partner to somewhere else. Forget the sex aspect of it.
Right.
That just
Right.
you could run somebody away just from that alone.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
mean, given again, like you said, number two, it got to be good. Otherwise, they're gonna want to go somewhere else. Even when it's, do you feel, in your opinion, right? Because you say it got to be good, right? Do you feel like there's situations where it's great, it's the best, and women and a woman or a man would still step out, even with it being that good? I don't know that the sex holds that much power, because a man or a woman could still step out and have the best, most phenomenal sex in their relationship. You don't think so?
I think it's different for men and women, bro. I really do. I think men, and this is, if you want to just talk straight physiology, we're talking about the gonads and like our natural physiologic function is men have sperm. We got millions of sperm. We can populate millions of eggs if we needed to. So biologically, we have an inclination to fulfill the feeling of variety to in our reptilian brain to say, okay, if I spread my seed everywhere, then that increases the percentage that my DNA will go forward, right? It's different for women. Women, they receive, they produce, they create, and then they create life. That's a completely different process. So when women step out, I feel it's more of an emotional loss that they're looking to feel in another relationship. A lot of times the men are emotionally unavailable. They don't feel love. They don't feel like they're being given the attention that they deserve. And that makes them step out. And so when women cheat, they cheat for emotions. When men cheat, they cheat just for a sexual pleasure. Men can cheat and not even think about it the next day and still hold their wife or their partner in a high regard. I think it's more challenging for women to do that.
So you don't think there's any emotional aspect to it when men cheat? You know, there's some men that are what would we call them back in my time growing up? Sucker for love, right? You don't listen. Let's be honest. Like, the woman's, I don't want to get too graphic, but the woman's pleasure area is a very dangerous
graphic, bro. We can make it science. We call this let's take a moment of science. Give a health class.
Pussy is power, man, and
Pussy is power.
some men can get emotional from it. Some men can experience another woman and never want to go back home. Some men do fall. Some men do get emotionally attached and can't. And then you have some women who like you said about the men. Some women are just do the same thing dudes do. They don't want no emotional attachment, and they leave you there. It's the guy hanging like, but I love you, and she's like, whoa, shorty, chill. I just wanted to fuck you, and that's it.
Sure.
Some women do that.
Sure.
Some women do. Listen, I could be honest and say that happened to me. Like I was used for dick.
How
and
did you
weird?
How did you
like, wait a minute.
feel after that? Where it's like, you just used me for my dick?
Right, I didn't know.
How dare you?
I didn't know how to
You
take
just used me for my good dick.
because in my mind that's something that men did. So when it was done to me, and she cut me off, was like, nah, shorty, I just wanted your dick. I was upset because I wanted more, but she was like, it's not gonna happen. I don't. That's all I wanted from you, and I'm like I think I may have shed a tear, man. I didn't know how to handle that. So
My
it,
nigga
it
said
happens both ways. It happens both ways. But again, women do that too. It's not just it's I don't think it's just a guy
you
thing.
know what? I think you're right.
I didn't know, brother. If you never have that happen to you, it's a different feeling. It's like, because as the man, you think, oh, we big dogs stomping
Right.
around. We can mess with women and not even think about them, and it's on to fucking the next chick the next day. But nah, man, I thought I was gonna continue with this girl. She just cut me off. She literally told me, "I just wanted dick from you, nothing else. No emo." I was catching feelings because it was good. It was good, and she just cut me off.
You know. Okay, let me ask you this question: how long had you guys been dating before you caught emotions?
I'm after admitting I was a sucker for love, dude, man. It may have
That's
been,
important.
man. It may have been a week, and I was already in love.
The pussy must have been good though. She must have been
Or maybe
good
I
though.
was just again. I don't know. Again, at the time
Yo,
too,
sit.
this was 147-pound me. So I was like, this woman wants me. I'm like, nobody wants me. So this woman wants me, and so I don't know if
Mhm.
if it would have happened like later on. I don't think I
Mhm.
would have been upset about it. I'd have been like, okay, I respect that. She just wants this for
Mhm.
that. And older me can understand that now, but
Right.
younger me was a little heartbroken.
Like older me can appreciate it. It's
Yes,
like it's like
yes,
you just want me for
absolutely.
my BBC. That's fine, girl. That's fine. Okay, 6 months. 6 months is what I give to myself before even entertaining an emotional connection with a woman, because it takes at least that long to be able to truly get to know someone where it's like, all right, can I invest emotionally with this person? I mean, I know I got the shirt and it's funny and it's cheeky, but honestly,
It was smart.
why would you
Like
invest?
it.
It's real, dog. Why would you invest your emotions into someone you wouldn't invest your bank account with?
Oof.
My emotions are just as precious as my time, energy, and money, if not more.
I've
And I'm going
never
to
heard.
give
But yeah,
that to someone. You need so by as a general rule for myself, I'm giving you 6 months. If I haven't known you for 6 months, I I'm not in love with you.
you know what? I think I know from early on whether I can love the person. I think I was able to always see if that person had the qualities that I wanted in, a partner. I
Mhm,
think I was always able to tell that.
mhm,
Did it last every time? No. But I knew from the jump whether I was gonna fall in love with this person. Like, after I got used for my dick. This was after that. This was after that era. I was smarter, and I was able to gauge whether I could see myself with this person or if this was
mhm.
just for the moment thing.
Yeah.
So I don't think I needed 6 months.
Mhm,
Um, but then it was a matter of it standing the test of time. Like if I knew it wasn't gonna go nowhere, it was what it was. If I knew I was gonna fall in love with this woman, I could say I'm guilty of knowing I was in love with someone, but
mhm.
waiting to tell her because I didn't know what the outcome would be if I said it too early.
Can I get deep with you for a second?
Yeah.
Ask you a question. Hold on. Old girl said, "I bet he ain't wait 6 months to smash." I bet I didn't. You don't need. I don't need to.
I want I want to come back to that too, the whole wait and the smash thing.
Why you? We'll come back to it. My question to you is, what is your definition of love?
My definition, my definition,
No,
my definition of love is um
because you love your wife and you love your kids, but you love them differently.
right.
So, what is the common denominator in that love?
Ooh, man, you asking me questions I've never been asked in my life.
Hey, bro,
It's good though.
I wasn't. You know,
Love to
look,
love.
if I would have known we were gonna get deep, I would have let you know in the DMs. This is surprising me too. We both just here.
I would say love to me is different for everybody. To me, my love is like undying devotion to each
Mm,
other,
I love that.
everlasting tenderness, understanding,
Hmm.
being able to listen.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
all things that I'm guilty of not being good at over the past years, but have worked on. But
Mm-hmm.
that's what love is to me. Love is this like emotional understanding of oneself, being around each other,
Mm-hmm.
being able to understand that we may love differently, because I don't think two people love each other the same. I don't know if that's possible.
And
There's always
yeah,
one
and
that
how can you even
loves
measure that?
more
That's yeah.
or loves different. But I think in my marriage there's a we have a common ground into which we love each other, and we understand that's what love is to me.
I I respect that definition a lot because I think love is actually the same. And I don't know how religious you are. I'm not very religious. I don't have to get into it, but what Jesus did, he carrying the cross, taking all the hate, taking all the beatings, taking all the, all the way up until his death, all for someone else.
Hmm.
And there's this movie, I don't know if you've heard of it, called Casablanca. It's an old
Yeah,
movie. I talked about
I'm
this
old.
before, but Homeboy, you said what?
I'm old,
Yeah,
man.
you feel me? You with me? You with me? We here. We here. At the end of the movie, he puts his girlfriend on a plane with another man because that was what was best for her. So for me, I don't know if I am capable of being in a relationship and completely sacrificing myself, or at least going into it with the idea like, yo, I'm willing to sacrifice my entire life for this relationship.
It's
And I think a
scary.
lot of people, you said what?
It can be scary. I understand where you're
It,
coming
it is scary. And which is why I think people need to recognize that marriages, relationships, these are all platforms for us to exchange
from.
value.
Hmm.
And while it sounds good to say, I love you, I take a bullet for you, I die for you, I'm your ride or die. And I've been with some ride or dies where like they like literally like ride or die. I've seen it. I've seen it in practice. And it's not easy. And when you have that type of exchange, it makes you question your own like gumption for the relate. Like, yo, do I really want to do this? Am I really in love? Because I know you would die for your children in a heartbeat.
100%.
And so that proclivity to say, yo, I am willing to give my life for this, whatever it is a level of sacrifice that I don't know if we're stepping into relationships. And if you find that, even if it's up and down and it doesn't always stay consistent, if you're able to taste that and feel that and share that and exhibit that, like bravo to you, man.
How long?
Bravo.
Your parents? You say your parents are still married?
Yeah, they've been married for almost 40 years now. Shit, I'm almost 40. They've been married since I was born.
You see,
That's just crazy. But
it's not
go ahead.
easy. I don't think it's easy to find that old love anymore.
Yeah.
Like parents. So I see these couples, and you see old elderly couples, and they're together for even longer than your parents, like 50, 60 years. It's like
Hmm.
I don't
Hmm.
there's not much of that now. So I can understand why it's a little scary to commit, because it's not the same. It was a
Yeah.
different time. Um,
Hmm.
I think love has changed, and how people love has changed. What it requires to uh, um, get love from another person has changed. Like the standards from one, the standards that one determines whether they're gonna love you have changed. Like you before, it's like, okay, he treats me well, but now it's more. It's to get somebody to tell you that they love you nowadays. It's like have fun.
It's it, and even if they do say it, it's like, do you even know what that means? Like,
Right.
are you for real?
It could be
So
they just saying it because it sounds good. A lot of people may not admit it, but they use the word love because it sounds better than like, and they don't mean it.
I 100% agree with you. It sounds better than like, and usually when people say love, they don't really mean I love you. That it means love. Love usually means don't leave me.
Mhm.
Love means I like having sex with you. Love means I'm attached to you. Love can mean so many things other than what love is. But when we talk about like that feeling that you feel when you sacrifice for your
Mhm.
children, that is pure, and that is you can't replicate that. You really can't.
Somebody in the comments saying, let's talk about why you can't wait 6 months to screw. Can you wait six? And again,
I am.
what I circle back to,
Oh
do
yeah.
you feel, do you feel it's important, or
Mhm.
does it matter whether you have sex with a woman on the first night or if you wait 6 months? Do you think that changes the dynamic of the relationship? Does it play a factor in whether you stay or not?
It Okay, it used to. It really did used to. Now I can meet a woman, we can talk for months, we can go out on dates. I'm not pressing for some. We're talking about it. We're definitely talking about it.
Yeah,
We're
hold on,
having a
hold on,
conversation.
hold on. But why you waiting that 6 months? Are you doing you still because she's not giving it to you, or you waiting that 6 months monogamously?
I ain't doing no monogamy. Me and monogamy are like water and oil. Like if you fucking with me, we gonna have to figure something else out. 'Cause what I mean is the emotional attachment. And I used to get emotionally attached to women so quickly where I would sacrifice my boundaries, my money, my time, my energy before I even knew if this person was good for me or not. So when I say 6 months, I don't care if we're having sex or not. I am not putting myself in a position to hurt myself to love you because I have put myself in a position too many times where I've sacrificed and I've spent money, energy, time, and it's been taken for granted. It was the wrong person. This person ended up not being who they were. Circumstances may change. So this is just like when two huge corporations come together and one company is buying another. There's a latency period where they have to do their due diligence to make sure the books are correct, the taxes are on point, the staff is where it needs to be. This is important. It's imperative that you do this. Otherwise, you will step into a situation, and by the time you realize it, it's too late. Now you've lost yourself in the relationship, and now you have to pick between your head and your heart. And either way, it's going to hurt because now you put yourself in a position where it's like you either have to do what's best for yourself or you're going to do what your heart wants to do.
Mhm.
And I put myself in that predicament way too many times. So now I'm just more patient. So I'm not pushing sex. We don't need to have sex. We're gonna talk about why we're not having sex, and we'll respect those boundaries. But it's not a necessity, and I still fuck with you, and we can still enjoy each other and spend time and share and all these things. But I just think it takes time. Just like you said, your wife, she knew you before the come up. So
Mhm.
she knew that authentic version of you. So she had already passed all those tests before because she was fucking with you before.
Yeah,
So
way.
you way before. So she passed the due diligence test way before. She was like buying into Apple or Microsoft. It was a sure thing. And she already had a proven track record of appreciating you and showing you gratitude and love and uplifting you before everything else, man. All the glitz and glamour.
It's crazy because sometimes I ask myself, I don't. Sometimes I ask myself, what the fuck does she see in me? Like I wouldn't have.
Nah, bro. Nah. Don't even take it there. You already know what time it is. And I say that because it's hard to see yourself. I too, I got a lot of good people around me they're always straightening my crown, reminding me all the hard work that I put in, the person that I am, just trying to keep me buoyed amongst all the the hate. But she reminds you to straighten your crown, that you're a strong man, that you're a great father, that you're a good human being, that you know what love is and you know what authenticity is, and she sees that in you. So it's important to keep people like that around you who can continue to straighten your crown. So good for you, man. I'm
You
really
know
proud
what?
of you.
You know what the thing is with social media too. I found that social media, like it can, depending on who you are, it can make you question who you are and question your worth.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need that person to bring you back. Like, no, this is not. These people, these people only know you from the videos you post. They forming opinions, and I'm not even
Right.
talking about the people who write good stuff. I'm talking about the people who form negative opinions on
Mm-hmm.
me that only are going by one video, just like yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you've been live plenty of times. This is my first time live with you, but I can just from the back and forth. Again, we may have different ways we view things,
Mm-hmm.
but as human beings, I can respect you and I can respect your opinion, and I can see that the person you portrayed on the show is not the person that I'm talking to. Yes, you still the authentic version of
Yeah.
you, but also like you're not the asshole like people all they see is asshole from
Yeah.
that. What I see and what I'm getting from this
Yeah.
conversation is not that. Just a guy who's him and is allowed to have his own opinion and be allowed to speak freely and love or let in his life who he feels like he wants to let in his life. That's what I'm picking up.
Yeah. Yeah. And thank you for that because it was a unique experience to have the lights and the cameras on you, to be in an arena that was basically the lion's den where people have these preconceived indoctrinations about you. I'm okay with it because I know myself. I put in so much work into my regulating my actions, being able to take responsibility, being able to handle tough conversations, being able to stay calm. I mean, for all intents and purposes, I felt like I was pretty chill. I wasn't yelling or
Listen,
screaming.
the fact that that I told you I felt me personally as a man that you were being arrogant and you just saying, yeah, I watched it and I was that. I mean, that says a lot to me. Again, I already, like I said, we had minor conversation before this, but I can tell that, some things. I mean, some things are just for shock value, and that's it is what it is. People take what they see online like at that value, and and
Mhm,
and that's what it is.
mhm.
That's why sometimes you have to be mindful what you put online because this is the only place people want to see you. They're not seeing you at a bar. They seeing you on a grand stage, and especially
Mhm,
when something goes viral, and it may go
mhm,
viral for the wrong reasons. Like you didn't go viral for being the nicest guy on the earth. You went viral because people was like, this motherfucker is a
This
jerk.
mother,
And,
and it's kind of sad because some of the I guess the positive content that I put out doesn't get as many views as the contentious content that I put out. So, what'd you say?
negativity sells for some, man.
I don't, I'm sure
Not for
there's science behind.
if you're a villain,
Not for everybody.
good. If you're a villain, you got to be a good villain. If
Yeah.
everybody, there's a lot of villains we don't know about and we don't care about. You just so
Right.
happen to be a standout. Um,
Right.
but but what people get messed up behind that is that that's not all that you are. I mean, that was just a show. That I
Yeah.
wouldn't even say that you're a villain in real life. It's just
Sure.
made you look, and we all know how things can be cut um
Right.
on the editing floor to make things look
Mm-hmm.
more than what they are.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I do everything I shoot, I light, I record, I do the audio is all me. Everything, no one, I have no editor, no nothing. I'm a one man
Oh,
band.
good for
Whatever
you.
comes out is what I put out.
Good
Every
for you.
the production is mine.
Good for you. Good for you. I think that's really important because you're right. This is the only place that people can really see who I am. So, yeah, I'll let the production team go ahead and cut up however they're going to cut it up and spin it however they want to spin it. Because at the end of the day, when you meet me or you get a chance to talk with me or interact with me, it's love, it's vibes. I work so hard on myself because I value peace. I work so hard on myself because I value healthy
Hmm.
relationships. I value longevity. I value stability. These are things that every human can appreciate. So my path just looks a little different than everyone else. But ultimately, if we can get to a place where I'm able to close my eyes and sleep with a clear conscience, that's all I really need.
Exactly.
That's all I really need.
Speaking of editing, right? I
Hmm.
know somebody asked you, but this was something I was looking forward to when I saw it pop up on my YouTube, but I didn't see you at the reunion, and that would have been. I'm not. I'll be lying if I say I wasn't upset. I even told my wife, I'm like, wait a minute, how you have a reunion and don't have one of the most
I know.
viral people from the show? Given that's no slight to anybody else that was on the reunion, but
Yeah.
with the exception
You know,
of the gentleman, I forget his name, and I guess her name was, what was her name? The one that told dude she didn't like the way he spoke, like on a day-to-day speak, the Rizoma, I think her name was.
yes, yes.
But besides her going viral and that guy being up there,
Mhm.
I can't say that a lot were memorable to me that
Yeah.
were there. And I was like, oh, wait a minute, something's off. Something must have happened, or I figured it was just like a scheduling thing with your work. But I was like, he's not.
You know, I wish that I really do. I wish that's what it was. My work schedule is very flexible. I get to make my own schedule every month, so I'm able to do stuff like this every month. But really, we had a falling out because they edited out a large chunk of my the part of my episode because of some of the things that I was saying. I was talking about not practicing monogamy, having two girlfriends, being, uh, 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 like talking about all the different aspects of what I wanted in a relationship. And they were like, no, this is a one woman, one man show. We only do monogamy here. We're not going to talk about that.
Hmm.
And so I posted some behind the scenes. You said what?
So that's those behind the scenes that nobody knows about.
Exactly.
Um,
So I posted some behind the scenes, and they were pissed. They were like, "Oh, take that shit down." I was like, "Man,
did you? That must have been way before. That must have been a while then, because we just started following each other.
exactly."
Did you post?
Yeah, this was way before. This was way before. I had already decided we weren't going to do the reunion like weeks before,
You
like
should
pretty much that day.
have known that was going to happen if you did that.
And I actually, of course, everything is calculated. Of course, I knew. I was like, well, at that moment in the show where I felt like they were trying to turn the narrative inauthentically, that's when I was like, oh, I can't do this show anymore. I like Pop the Balloon because I felt like it was a safe space for me to be myself. And as soon as they started chopping it up and editing it and turning it a different way, I was like, yo, no, I'm not. I don't. I know I'm going to get a lot of rejection for this. I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this. But at least let me speak in my truth, because the people who feel me, they'll find me, and at least I can be at peace and happy with my decision. But
So was it after the episode aired and you saw that they?
no, it was that day on the episode. They cut the cameras. They stopped the show. They like
Oh,
came up to me and was like, "Yo, you can't say." The director came up to me and was like, "Stop everything." In that moment, I thought they were going to kick me off the show and I wasn't going to be on the episode at all. But we continued to roll, and I curtailed my verbiage to, be like, oh, well, I can't say that. Well, let me say this. So in that moment, I was just like, man, I'm just done with Pop the Balloon, all of it. This isn't my space. Obviously, I'm not, I'm.
this was
Yeah,
after 2 or 9.
nine. After episode 9, the second episode that
Okay.
I was on. So after episode 9, like we all pretty much knew, like, yo, this is, if we can't be friends, let's at least be enemies. So
That's a hell of a line.
fuck it. Fuck. What what was that comment I put? I was like, I don't have any kids, but Pop the Balloon is my son.
Yeah. Yo, but I would say this about the show. I don't know if that been going on a lot, but after seeing that one, I saw a lot of Pop the Balloon shows popping up again. I don't know who copied who, but to me, that's the one. That's the most watchable one
Well,
to me.
I mean, Arlette is a great
Yes,
host. You know, she looks great. She asks great questions. She's a great orator. She does a great job with the show, and BM does a great job with it too. They have systems in place where they're cranking it out and they're doing their thing. So I'm proud of what they're doing.
Yes, it's
But like,
really
we didn't get paid. We didn't get paid to be there. None of these people are getting like paid, so we're all just kind of pawns in their game, which is fine. They created the platform. They are doing their thing. I'll ride with it. Like, let's
but
celebrate
it's
it. They're doing a
exposure
great job.
still.
You said what?
It's exposure still for
It's
a lot of
definitely exposure. It's definitely exposure. So I don't mind. I obviously don't mind. I didn't ask them to pay me or anything like that. It's fine. But it just reinforces the fact that this is their platform and they're doing what they want to do. So I have to remember that their agenda is more important than mine. And I have to respect that.
true that. Yeah, no,
So
it was disappointing, but
well, now people can follow my YouTube channel and find out what I'm doing in other spaces because while I'm grateful for Pop the Balloon, I that's not really my space. You know, I'm not gonna find what I'm looking for there. And while I was grateful for the platform to be able to speak my truth to a certain extent, you know, we graduate, we grow. So I help them go viral with their show. They help me go viral with their show. And at the end of the day, like I said, I'd rather be enemies than friends. If we can't be
I
friends,
think
let's at least be enemies.
moments like that help both parties, whether one party chooses to acknowledge that. But I
Right.
would say moments like that, you would a few other people, these viral moments, it brings value and views to the show. It made me
Yeah,
want to watch more and be more invested. You feel me?
I agree. I agree. And so, yeah, it's a beautiful ecosystem that we created. And I don't have any. I don't. I actually don't have any hard feelings. I'm just calling it like it is.
No, I
If you wanna if you want to try and curtail my voice and my freedom of speech, then this is just what happens. This is all just a natural response to what happens. And even for me, I can't be mad at everybody popping their balloon on the show. That's just a natural response to what everybody saw the first time. So it's like, yo, I knew what I was getting myself into. I wanted all the smoke, nigga. I wanted
listen.
all the smoke.
So listen, I got to ask you this: what? Because when this young lady, her name was, I don't know if she said Jador or Jadori, right? So
Uh-huh.
the whole time that she was talking, right,
Mm-hmm.
it almost looked as if your brain was gone, like you was just gearing up.
Yes.
And as
Yes.
soon as she stopped talking, and you said, "Who's your dentist?" Why was that the lead off line? Like I saw your mind going. I was like, the wheels are turning right now. What is he gonna say? Like you were very patient. You're a good listener. You let it go, and then
Yeah.
it's like shotgun, like buckshot. I'm like, oh my god.
In every situation, I am checking to see if you are talking with me or if you're talking at me. And if you're talking at me, that means you're not open to receiving anything I'm saying. So, in my mind, when she first started going off, you're a narcissist, you're arrogant. If you would just change, then people would accept you more. I was actually with her. I was with her. I was like, yo, girl, thank you for that good advice. But then she went in and she started character assassinating me.
You know,
she, she,
sometimes you can kill people by not saying nothing at all.
I,
I
I
do that.
know.
I do that very often. People often talk a lot of smack to me, and it bothers them when you don't even respond. Like you don't have
Yes.
nothing, no rebuttal. I don't respond to negativity like that. Like if you see
Nope.
somebody says something negative in my comments and you see me respond, it's just me trolling a troll,
Yeah.
not because it bothers me, because it's funny to me, and it makes for
It's
good content.
hilarious.
It makes for good content. Like I'm not doing it because
Yes.
I'm butthurt or my skin isn't thick. I'm like,
Right.
well, you just gave me content. Thank you. I really didn't have nothing to do today, so
Yeah.
let me. It never. I don't feed into negativity because negativity. Misery loves company. They
Mhm.
acknowledgement.
Mhm.
If I have the time
Mhm.
of day, and I give you that time to roast you is because I just want to troll a troll,
Yeah.
not because you
Yeah.
got to me. People seem to confuse that, like, oh man, they got under their skin. No, you didn't. It's content. This is what I'm a content creator, and I'm creating content
Exactly.
for other people to laugh at you because you thought you were funny. You thought you was being funny by calling this girl fat. Now I'm gonna put you on the spot. Now you're the joke.
Exactly. Because guess what? The algorithm don't know the difference.
Exactly.
Whether it's love or hate in the comments, the algorithm does not know the difference. So I got time. I
You,
got time.
you know, people forget that if you have like an Instagram account or whatever, you're on social media, they forget that you're a real person also. They're
Yeah.
like, person's fake. He don't respond.
Right.
He's not. Listen, I go outside. I eat food like everybody else.
Right.
Um, I go shopping like anybody else. I do the same thing
Mm-hmm.
that everybody else does, meaning I will clap back at you if I have the time of day. Like I don't, again, we're in different lights to where if we say something too crazy, it could hurt you. But people gotta understand, I'm a dude from the Bronx, man. I grew up in New York City all my life. You ain't gonna talk to me like that. It's not gonna happen. Like I'm a very nice guy, but like
Yeah. You know, and I'll admit it. I'm not a nice guy. I'm kind, I'm compassionate, I'll be direct with you, but I'm not a nice guy. I'm not here to be nice. That you miss me with that. I'm not here to be nice. I'm gonna give it to you straight. If the shit stinks, if my shit stinks, I'm gonna tell it like it is because I've wasted too much. I don't know. I'm a recovering people pleaser. I spent so much of my life.
covering people pleaser.
Yes, bro. I spent so much of my life catering to people around me and trying to figure out how to get people to actually like me and get girls to like, mainly girls, get girls to like me. Like, who do I need to be so you can like me? And that gets exhausting. It's exhausting to try to always have to think about what this person is thinking of
Hmm.
you. But when I sit in my authenticity and I sit in my peace, and I know I'm not trying to maliciously hurt anyone or bring anyone down or make anyone feel bad. It may happen, but that's not my intention.
Hmm.
Then I can speak from a pure place, which is like, yes, maybe I could have changed my tone of voice on the show. I could have been more compassionate, more kind, less combative. I could have been for sure. But
Well, you wanted to be a
that
dick.
that wouldn't be real. In that moment, I needed to be a dick. And it's okay because at the end of the day, I think all the interactions that I had, we were both able to at least express ourselves in a way where it's like, all right, you got what you got off your chest. I got what I got to say off my chest. And I'm okay to agree to disagree. That's fine. I don't need everyone to like me. I don't need to agree with everyone. I don't need people to revere me in this way. If you feel inspired by my authenticity, that's all I really care about. Because I'm continuing to change and grow as I learn, as I see, as I experience. And I have to give myself space to not be perfect or not be good or not say the right thing or do the right thing. I mean, you were saying it earlier in the live. It takes time to learn and to grow
Listen, I'm not.
so we can.
Again, I'm not perfect, and I'll never pretend to be or put myself online like I'm this perfect guy who hasn't made mistakes or will even make more mistakes in the future. Like I'm a human being, like,
Right,
but I know enough and I'm aware enough to try to correct you know, if I offend somebody
right,
or
right,
I do something wrong. It's not, and with social media or in general, you got to know everybody's not gonna like you.
right,
Think of the person you love the most, like
right.
social media wise. Everybody don't love
Mhm.
you. Allegedly, Michael Jackson, the world loved Michael Jackson. How many
Right,
people don't? The most love,
right. It
who's the most nicest person you think, like celebrity wise, that no one would hate? People hate
Mr.
that person.
Rogers. Mr. Rogers, this is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh no, what's that dude's name from Reading
Or
Rainbow?
LeVar Burton.
I don't know how anybody can hate LeVar Burton.
but they do. So
Reading Rainbow.
take a look. It's in a book.
It's in a book.
Yo, listen. There's plenty of people who hate me, but
Yeah.
the saying goes, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie.
Right.
My follow account is going up. I don't know if people are paying attention to
Yeah.
that, but
Yes.
if
Yes.
I wasn't making that much of an impact, nobody will follow me.
All right.
People
Exactly.
get online and they try to spread bullshit about me. It don't work.
Mm-hmm.
They think it's gonna hurt my character.
Mm-hmm.
There's been quite a people. There's been quite a few people who get online and they make these statements on me, and I don't think they know how defamation works. But I'm in a position right now where I have some pretty powerful friends, and people would be good to leave me alone. Like, just leave me
100%.
alone. I don't be out here bothering nobody. Just leave me
Right.
alone. Like I don't. I get online, I put out my videos. Like I literally change people's lives just through videos. Like I'm not doing anything for them, and I just get these messages. Thank you, you've done so much for my mental health, and things of that. And that's good enough for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then
Speaking of mental health, what do you do for your I know it's Men's Mental Health Month this month. What are some tools that you can share with the community that you do on a daily basis, on a consistent basis, that help you deal with all the bullshit that comes with your fame and the haters and all that stuff? What are some things you can share?
um, well, for one, I don't this whole following. I don't. When I say my following, the numbers don't mean anything to me. Not the followers
Mm-hmm.
themselves. They mean everything to me. But this could all change in a day. Like you could say the
Mm-hmm.
wrong thing on tomorrow, and you're back to who was that guy. I keep myself grounded because, again, the numbers mean nothing to me. To me, I don't even see the following. I try not to look at that. I remain humble. I have my wife to keep me grounded. Um, my daughter, when things and the behind the scenes stuff you don't see with social media, it's not a lot of negatives, but there are some negatives. Like there are
Mm-hmm.
sleepless nights. There's the stress of remaining relevant, putting out content. Um,
Mm-hmm.
People don't understand that they just all they see is the finished product. They don't know what went into the finished product. Um,
Right.
and there are stresses that come with that, and it does wear and tear on me mentally sometimes because
Mm-hmm.
um, as it slows it wears and tears on me mentally sometimes because I don't I don't know if it's sustainable sometimes. Like I get into a stage where I'm like, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. No. I start to doubt myself. And in order
Mm-hmm.
to stay level headed, I have people around me who help me get through that. Because
Right.
when you see me put stuff online, even if I'm putting out positive stuff to make other people feel good about themselves, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm well mentally. Even though you see me laughing and saying sensational,
Mm-hmm.
right after that camera goes off, I may plop myself on the couch and just be going through it mentally. So
Yeah. Yeah.
to take myself away from that, I do simple things that keep me sane. I chill with my family. I play Xbox with my boys. I go to the movie theaters. Like simple things keep me sane.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so impressed with how you've been able to remain consistent
It's
over the years.
hard.
I think I think people take that for granted. Every video that you post, I'm sure you didn't feel like doing it that day.
It's hard. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard because you could do anything when you're in a good headspace. But
Right.
sometimes if like life is just beating you up, um,
Mm-hmm.
again, something I spoke of the other day, like Heath Ledger, right? He
Yeah.
played a phenomenal Joker.
Yeah.
Um, he took himself away from us.
Mm-hmm.
To me, from the outside looking in, everything is good. You playing one of the most iconic roles. I'm pretty sure he wasn't doing bad financially,
Right.
but it wasn't it things something was still off. Something that we didn't see that led him to say, I don't want to be here no more and take his own, you know. So you don't know what's going on, even though things may look good on screen, don't mean that they are. Not saying that right now anything is bad for me, but people got to understand that, you know, you can't always judge something by what you see. Just because it looks good don't mean it is good all the time.
Right. And you know, I hope you give yourself grace when things aren't going so well, that, you know, this is just part of it, you know, like chop wood and carry water. This is the name of the game. And that doesn't mean you're always going to be happy. It doesn't mean you're always going to have tough days, but it does mean that there is a commitment to the purpose higher than your emotions or how you are thinking about yourself in that day. So
Hmm.
I'm proud of you, man. I really do hope that things continue to grow for you and you continue to touch people's lives. But before we go, I want you to give some advice to the community about how you raising kids these days. How you raising kids in this climate? I don't know how people are doing that.
Um, well, it's tough. And being that, you know, Father's Day is tomorrow. You have any kids?
No, I don't. Not. I don't know, man. Like I said, I grew up the oldest of four, changing diapers, cooking and cleaning, so I know what it takes, and I just haven't taken that plunge. And I don't know, man. We gonna see. I'm not. You know, I don't say no to anything. I don't know what God has in store for me, but
So
I'm not making plans for it.
raising kids is as easy as the person you have the child with. And
Ooh, ooh, I wasn't ready for that one, yo. You need to say that again for the people in the back, Eric. Say it again, please.
I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna elaborate on it
Yeah.
heavy. I'm gonna say this only one time because I,
Hmm.
you know, I said I would never speak about this, but I say that raising kids is as easy as the person who you have the kids with. Like I have um my daughter who lives with me. I have my daughter with my wife, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And you may have not seen it, but there's someone in the comments who's calling me a deadbeat. This person also logged out and logged into another account and also called me a deadbeat. Now
Dang, bro.
this
You like a
person,
comment reading
listen,
genius.
listen, but this person is the mother of my son, right?
No way. She in the comments right
Yeah, yeah.
now?
She's gonna log in. I don't want to give a name, and I don't even want to shed any light
No,
on
no,
it.
we
But
ain't gonna call her out. We ain't
I
gonna call her out.
want to address this, right? Because
Sure.
this person has been doing this in my comment section. This person has been going to celebrity friends of mine's Instagram pages, writing deadbeat in the comments. Like
No.
it's very disgusting. And they think that I don't know. And again, I have some very powerful friends that I just don't want to utilize because I'm trying to be
Sure,
nice. It it's
sure.
easy to raise a child with someone um who's on the same level headed and not vindictive or anything.
Mm,
I'll say
mm,
my son, love him to death, and I'm pretty sure she has him watching this.
mm-hmm,
Um, you, if you, there's a difference between allowing somebody in a child's life and doing the most to keep
mm-hmm,
them out, and now that he's popular, trying to
mm,
say the deadbeat because you want some kind of
yeah.
fame now. I'm
Yeah.
not going to give you the platform. You can't. No one what we discussed earlier. When people
Mm-hmm,
up about you, it's good to have people around you to tell you that you're not this person. People who actually know you, just
mm,
like my wife. I have my daughter. I wake up to my
yeah.
beautiful daughter every day,
Mm-hmm,
and this is upset with that. You can't be upset about me being in my child's life if you keep my child away from me. I
mm-hmm,
have so much receipts, like it's
mm,
disgusting. Again, I'm
yeah.
never gonna. This is the first time on
Yeah.
your interview that I've ever mentioned this, and this is the last time I'll ever address it because she's watching.
Yeah.
Um,
And thank you for that, by the way. I think it's important for other men who are in your same situation to stand strong in instances like this and not succumb to the pettiness. Now, I'll be the first person. I'm petty. I'll admit it. I'm petty. I don't mind the pettiness. I think it's funny, but a line needs to be drawn in the sand when it comes to, because this isn't about her. This has everything to do with
It
your
does.
son. So, and I have friends too who are going through the same thing you're going through when they are kind of helpless to the emotional wrath of the people they're raising the children with.
Hmm.
What can you say, or what would you say to your son who is dealing with, because your son is actually going through a lot,
Yeah.
dealing with the emotional backlash of his mom, dealing with your fame, dealing with the decisions that she's made, dealing with her emotions, dealing with her actions around her emotions, dealing with the responsibility I'm sure she needs to take. What what do you say to your son to one, keep the love alive that he has for his mom, and also keep the love alive that he has for you? What do you say?
I can't say anything. I can't say anything to him. It's gotten to a point where, you know, unfortunately, uh, someone said, do the legal route. I already tried that. The courts are one thing about, I don't know about any other place, but the New York City court system is not made for men. It's not made for men. I'll say this. It got so bad to where, things in court was said that my wife hurt my son, which was 100% false.
Mm,
100% false.
mm,
So you got to keep that same energy now that I can confidently say, yes, I am popular. People do know me. Millions know me across all platforms. I have maybe 5 million followers. You
mm,
have to keep that same energy. Where's that energy in court where you were saying, my wife did things to my son and blah 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 and did this and did that and graphic stuff I won't even mention. Don't don't
mm,
don't come on every person's page or try to defame me or come in all these places saying these false statements about me when you know that you did everything to keep me away. Now that I'm popular,
mm,
I'm a dead because
mm,
it's
mm,
not gonna work. It's not gonna work
mm,
because the people around me, the people who I love, the people who deal with me every day,
mm,
like my wife
mm,
especially, I'm raising my beautiful daughter.
mm, mm,
No, that's not me. They know everything that happened with court and
mm,
outside of that. Um,
mm, mm,
from my mom to my family, my everyone to the attorney I had. So, um, again, it's easy to raise a child when the person who you have the child with has an understanding. And
mm.
you know, even if you two split, you have to be adult enough to know that it's not about us. It's not about us. It's not
Right.
about us. It's about the child. And again, um, this is the first and last time I'll address it.
Yeah.
Um, here because this person just she wants acknowledgement so bad. This is what I'm saying. When
Yeah.
you give acknowledgement to negativity, this is what
Yeah.
this is what the thing that narcissists like. That when you ignore them, they don't know how to handle that. So they
Yeah.
just come in and keep coming and
Yep.
keep coming. You ain't noticing because you don't you I'm seeing the comments down on my screen and it's scrolling up. I see her keep writing. You're
Mm,
interviewing a deadbeat.
mm,
If you're
mm.
feeling sad, just be that. Just be that. Um,
A large part of it is her also wanting you back. And
oh,
I mean, you're fucking
I don't,
awesome. And you said what?
that it's definitely not that. But again, let me just cut that there. This ain't about her. But I
Yeah.
just, but I just wanted to pull that in because the whole you asking,
Right.
raising a
Mm-hmm.
child now, it's
Hmm.
easy to do when you have two loving people who understand each other. It's
Yeah.
very easy. Um,
Yeah.
it does get difficult, once people separate. And, that's another thing with marriage. Like you said, if once you marry and you got a kid, some people may use a kid to keep them together, but that shouldn't be what keeps you together.
I agree. I agree, especially if it's an unhealthy environment.
Mhm.
I think that this is why raising kids is hard because there's so many other variables that are inflicting their experience that they have no control over. And I mean, you don't even have control over a lot
No,
of it. And so it sounds like acceptance is really where it's at, and to put yourself yourself in a position to try and work with him as much as you can when you can. But yo, like seriously, if you need any help, let me know. I got people. So you let me know if you need any help in any way I
We'll
can
talk,
help you
brother. We'll
rectify.
talk out of here.
I really do appreciate your struggle. I know that it's not easy, and I know that you must have some long nights and some tough conversations, and just I just know
Absolutely.
it's tough. So
Again, I'm human like everybody else. I
right.
go through emotions. I won't say I don't. I'm this strong guy that don't cry. I go through it. I go through it
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
it's an emotional roller coaster for me, and I'm human, and this is blood to me. So
Hmm.
again, but when you see me posting stuff online, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna make sure that the people who I need to reach, the people who are feeling down on themselves, they get that
Hmm.
message. Because whether I'm
Hmm.
going through it or not, I'm gonna make sure the people who fuck with me, they know
Hmm.
that I got them, and I'm gonna make sure that they try to be as mentally put together as they can.
Yes. Yes. I'm so fucking proud of you, Eric. I think what you're doing is important for your community and for them to see the vulnerability, but more importantly for you and for your son. He's
Right?
gonna watch this. He's gonna see. He's gonna be able to tap into like, yo, Dad's got me no matter what. And
And listen,
so,
if I pass away before I get to see him again, I got
mhm,
hella videos online. He could.
yeah,
Unfortunate that it has to be that way, but
yeah,
you know, I, I-
yeah,
I'm leaving behind a legacy to be watched.
yeah.
Because again, we're not promised tomorrow. I could go tomorrow, and then
Right.
all I have is what I put online. So I got to make sure what I put online is
Hmm.
is of
Hmm.
quality.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let the church say amen.
Hey, but yeah, I
Yeah.
appreciate you even bringing me on, bro.
Yo, the honor is mine. I'm really grateful for your presence. Like, seriously, continue to kill it. And
Likewise.
like I said, we'll talk, but let me know how I can help and make your life easier and better and more peaceful. And because I get the struggle and I know it's not easy. And while we have different struggles and unique difficulties, I feel you. I really do feel you. And I'm proud of you. And like I said, however I can support you, I got you. I got
Respect
you.
that, bro. Respect that.
Appreciate it. So, yo, tell us about your new podcast before we head out. Let the people know where they can find your new podcast, what it's about, what are you doing,
Um,
what's good.
well,
I saw you got a
called,
few episodes
it's
out.
it's called a Sensational Talk podcast. I
Sensational talk.
I definitely would like to have an actual sit down and face to face with you if
I'm here for
that
it, man.
happen. But yeah, I got a few episodes out. I've been like a little behind on them because I've been just trying to do a lot of things at once. But slowly but surely they're coming. They can find it on YouTube. I got it posted there. Same name.
Okay.
I'm 7 across every
I
platform. Um,
love it. I love it. I love it.
I can't change the name now. I would like to just go back to Eric, but excuse me. Unfortunately, I can't.
Hey, man. Hey, man. It'll be good for the people who really fucks with you. All right. One last thing. This man says, "Hey, I'm a young man. I want to start a family. Any grown man advice?" All right, I'd like to answer. I love talking to young men who are trying to come up and do their thing. If you are a young man out there, and I'm gonna let Eric give his piece too, since he actually is married with kids. I don't know. I'm be focus on yourself as much as you can until it's time to bring that person in. I'm not saying don't have relationships, don't have sex, don't be out in the streets, don't like I'm not like do your thing, but just keep the main thing the main thing. A lot of men, they'll get a little bit of success early on or they won't, but they'll still find themselves in relationships and they'll pour themselves into those relationships before they're even ready to stand on their own. And then they find out, and this happened to me, that it's unsustainable long term. So get your shit together, find out your purpose, find out what you like to do, how you can help the world, and how you can find peace and passion in your life, and then bring someone on to that, and then you can start the family and but take it. What advice do you have to any young men out there who are trying to do their thing and start a family and be great?
I'm gonna keep it simple because you said more than enough. but you just have to be careful on your choice. One wrong choice can alter your life forever. I'm telling you this 43-year-old man who made a few wrong choices in life. I mean, we all gonna make mistakes, but in life, when your parents tell you something, you never listen. So
Right.
I don't expect anyone to listen to when I say it, and they probably won't listen. But I'll say just be very careful with who you choose, and that goes for a man or woman. That goes both ways, because one wrong mistake will finish you forever.
Yeah.
Even as,
Yeah.
like you don't have to wait till you old to make that wrong. You got your whole life ahead of you. Slow down, have fun. If you feel like you found the one at a young age, then go all in. But
Yeah.
wrap it up too.
Yeah, bro.
Wrap it up.
Hey, I don't know. I got a vasectomy a few years ago, man. I ain't even trying to risk
Sensational.
sensational. All right, we're gonna end on Yo, Eric, thank you so much. I will talk to you very soon. And we gonna keep it going. So, yo, do your thing. I'm proud of you.
Appreciate
And
you,
let's
bro.
tap in.
All right, man.
Peace out, bro.
Yeah.
My community. I appreciate everybody tapping in and vibing out, catching the vibe. That was I'm 6'7". You can go find him at I'm 6'7". He's got a podcast out, sensational talk, sensational conversation, sensational something. That nigga sensational. But yeah, I appreciate everyone tapping in. If you're just joining us and tapping in, give me a few hours. We're gonna have this on YouTube, and you can catch it on Instagram if you want to go back and watch it. But grateful for everybody. I will see you guys same time next week. We here. Out. I'm out.